There. The sound works. Dun, 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 doo-doo. I was expecting to be playing a game of Dungeonies and Dragonies, but take a guess. Family problems, also disease, busy with things. So just put it in to put him a little, kick him a little feeties, and make a big old mess of things. Shit happened. Can't help it. Let's see. What are we gonna do instead? I like to do the biggest, chunkiest mission with the biggest, beefiest hips. We're gonna be using Frost Flame. Solar Guardian. Chaos Device. With our character. Really, we're gonna go with Karina? I kinda wanna do Sirius, because he sucks! Oh, I gotta go with Rotten... Oh, I guess. It sounds still a bit quiet, isn't it? Yeah. It makes you think. Makes you think about shark bait. A little shark bait! Who doesn't think about shark bait every once in a while? It's important. You can do it too. First, I think I'm going to set the game a bit louder, like so. That'll do. I like this opening room. Reminds me a lot of the original game. I don't know if it is the original game's opening room, but hey, if you Rizma Zazzle and you Rizma Dazzle and Basil. Anyway, I don't like this character at all. His main ability is garbage because it interrupts his spellcasting to an extreme extent, and it's not all that strong. I forgot this game has a soundtrack. It's Blaze! This is a problem. So, what does the chaos device do again? Oh, it inflicts random status effects. So, the problem with Blaze is obvious. Flask, you just throw and forget. And you don't have to aim it all that well. But if you want to use Blaze, you have to pay attention all the time. And you can't use any other weapons. I want to see if you can use amulets while you're using Blaze. I don't think so. That would be way too good. That would actually make it a little bit better. I mean, it's not way too good, but it would make it usable. But yeah, you have to deal with this. I can't use any of my weapons. It's just, nope. Nope, you're stuck with that. It sucks! It needs to be way stronger for that to be worth it. Way stronger. Lose a random weapon. That's actually pretty good. Curiosity is amazing, especially this early on. We're going to earn so many extra level ups on that. Oh, because it's like a percentage, and that's always good. Okay, so we're going to turn on Blaze. We're going to 420 Blaze it, and we're going to see exactly if we can use our amulet. I can't! Oh, wow. Blaze absolutely sucks! Here I was thinking, you know, maybe it's just misunderstood. Maybe it just needs an adult to help it out, you know? Maybe it just needs a grown fucking man who isn't a big old baby to figure it out. But no, it turns out Blaze is just absolute hot garbage. Now, if you want to know, my real problem with him is... So, the spell woman, she gets faster alchemy and less other mana. But her alchemy doesn't suck. He just sucks. His spell damage is better, but everything, including spells, is slower. Like, why is he this bad? Why is Sirius this bad? All of his side perks, all of his, like, bonus garbage stuff, by the way, isn't all that exciting either. This is actually pretty fun. I like this a lot. Wow, I completely forgot this game had a soundtrack. 420 Blaze it. I mean, the one benefit is that it does set things on fire. That's nice. Having an extra element and all that is always nice to have. But Flask is easier, faster to use, and just works better. This is cute. After Blaze, you're probably slightly disoriented from having used Blaze. But it's better than that in so many ways. I'm just going to go for it. Like, at least it gives Blaze something. Now, everything this guy has to take is to compensate for the fact that his base stats are just... I'm just going to crouch. Just imagine me squatting in front of the camera and putting my hand like an inch off the floor. This is where he starts. And everyone else that's a specialist, they start like kind of like here, you know, like waist height. They're all right. I pick them. I don't see Sirius working out at all. But to be fair, until I realized how Glindor actually works, I thought Glindor was an asshole who had nothing to contribute to the situation. That's going to be useful considering I'm about to fucking die. I didn't know that hurdy floors were that hurdy. He doesn't have any extra damage taking things, right? No. It's just that hurdy floors hurt a shit ton more since they added safe path. Although I haven't kept up to date with this game all that much. Wow. That's actually alright. I never say no to some mana shield, man. The soul benefits. I have so many coins, I don't need coins anymore, so every shop is just like a, hey, what do you want? I want a weapon. Thank you. I'm good. I'll take that. Actually, nah, I got no money left. Otherwise, I would have bought a reroll and see if the last thing would have dropped anything useful. So now we have a precision and an accuracy-based weapon. The Frostbow, I was kind of on the Frostbow, but it's precision, high damage, and it also has an AoE. What more do you want? You get everything in one tidy package. It's a... And it freezes. What more do you want? What kind of greedy bastard are you that you want more? Oh yeah, I forgot your fire, yeah. Don't forget, you can look at the you can look at the little heads-up element, and you can, or the damage numbers. You can actually see if the character cares. You can never inflict a status effect on an element that something is resistant to, by the way. Don't forget that. 420, praise it. Why did you call it Blaze? After Billy Blaze. Oh my god, it even has a cooldown to get back to your weapon. Oh, Blaze, why are you so absolutely garbage? Oh, I'm so sad. Blaze, you make me cry. You make me cry. Like every other character, it's like, oh, you just have a little animation that does the thing. But the fact that this has a cooldown animation on top of distracting me with a pinpoint... Listen, weapons that are inaccurate have a massive benefit. Oh, I didn't know that... Wait, the orbs go up? They are for described. The problem is, when you have something that's pinpoint accurate, you have to aim it. Flask, you just throw wherever you want. Vault, you just go wherever you want. It's not that much damage, and it requires you to aim at things. Inaccurate weapons have the benefit you can just fire and forget. Projectiles have that benefit. There's a lot of weapons that are hit scan here where you can aim multiple shots, or you can kind of work with it. A beam like this is actually very awkward to deal with, because there aren't that many beam weapons, actually. I think they only recently added beams. And they added like a bunch. Like a wand. Also, I really hope that I can find Pandora's Box, because it is almost instantaneously became my favorite. Holy shit, that thing is great. So, I think the best way to say that Sirius is an absolute trash tier character is he's a spell, and I don't want to use him for spells. If I ever want to go for a spell build, why would I ever take Sirius? His spells are absolutely slow, and so many spells are way better when they're faster. I know those guys don't look like it, but I'm pretty sure those guys up there are lightning, or is that the other one? They're very similar. Let's see. These are the lightning guys, I think. No, those are the fire guys. There's a lightning guy who looks like very similar, but I think they're orange, a little bit more orange coppery. And those guys aren't ice despite being blue. I mean, it's okay. It's kind of nice to have enemies that slightly throw you off. But hey. I can poison an armor that has no blood vessels. I guess this isn't D&D after all. Oh. For some reason, this guy also loves giving away his speed. So, this is bad. Because, again, it takes a lot to pinpoint aim something. Like a laser beam that's very thin. If it was wider, I'd be okay with it. But it's pretty tight. So this... lower speed, huh? You basically become a sitting turret, which I guess is fine. That's kind of neat. But he also has another one. I think it's called Flex, and it reduces his speed even more. And it's like, okay, Billy Blaze, I guess you're going to want those hastes, huh? Yeah, I'm just complaining because I don't understand him. I'm too dumb. Once I learn his magic tricks, maybe I'll learn to appreciate him. And just like Glindor, I'll be like, man, Glindor's awesome. You get to stand at a bunch of idiots and they get to whack on you and you go, you fools, you only make me more powerful. But with Glindor, I didn't understand his mechanics. Blaze is just a beam. There's nothing to explain. Man, listen. I want you to appreciate how this weapon looks. Look at the little crossbow bolt. It goes pew. And then there's a little animation where it comes back. Pew. Whoop. There's a little flask of... Oh, man, they got the little fluid that moves around. Oh, man, I love it. I also love that every single spellbook has its own arcane glyph. And your character holds a different projectile. And look at that wand. Look at how dumb it looks. That looks like a stupid magic... I love it. When I say stupid, I mean the kind where it's like, man, that just looks way too extra. But it's a good thing. Because I like my high magic settings extra. Thank you. If you're gonna put in all the magic, make it look dazzle me, razzle me. Give me that goo. I wonder if the Chaos device can spawn. What's it called? I wonder. The 5th of November. Can it make effects happen that thing is immune to? So will it try to apply frozen to a creature that's immune to frozen, or will it actively try to avoid it? Or will it try and then fails and then it tries something else? Like, I don't know. I wonder. I really wonder how it does that, because that's a unique edge case that needs to be accounted for. Because, I mean, the Chaos device is already pretty good, because it hits everything, and it might hit him with a DOT or a stun. So, you're already getting your bang for your buck, even if it fails. But it's one of those things where it's like, you know, if you do that, it becomes a heck of a lot better. It is also an infinite use item, so, I mean, it's a cooldown that really kills it. And also, you have to wait. You have to wait a bit before all the enemies have spawned in, so, you know, I guess it's fine. But it's one of those things where I'm just thinking, I want to know the answer. My baby brain goes sputter, sputter. Give me the answer, but mother clucker. I really wish. It's like a really weird thing to want. I wish the Curiosity actually kept track of how many fights it's been active, so it tells you how many level ups you've gotten. Like, oh, you've gotten 110% of your experience bar. It's like, oh, I got a whole free level up from this. This thing was worth it. Because I would like to point out, Curiosity is not worth it unless there are 20 combat rooms ahead of you. Why? Because unless it earns an extra level of experience, you might as well have taken any other perk. This is the problem with things like experience. With that is people forget that it needs to pay for itself, then it can start compensating for what it cost you. Sucks, don't it? 420, blaze it. Oh, I think he's resistant to fire. Well, it doesn't matter. But in the end, it didn't even matter. Look at that. Look at that. Some are cursed. That's also nice. Also, I think all these guys are weak to poison because they're all living creatures. Man, that fire rate decrease is always going to be a stinger. It's not necessarily bad, but hey, if we're gonna go for a high experience one, why not? I got level 30 in one. That was great. Oh man, I can't believe this game is a soundtrack. This game is great to play with some random garbage in the background, like a podcast or something. So don't hear the music all that much. Also, the music turned down at pinch, so yeah. Cool. And now have all weapon slots accounted for. That's always good. Eagle Staff, not bad. Like it. I dig it. Blue Door, they changed it. No longer does a single enemy drop the key. You have to find them in the rooms, and I kind of like it. I think it's cute. It has an audio cue. And it's bright and glowy, and I think it spawns from a further area than most light sources on my current setting. So, yeah, it's just a fun little collectible you can keep your eye out for if you care. Sometimes you have to do a bit of a wacky jump to get it, but, you know. I'm surprised that Blaze, Sirius, the Warlock, has the slower attack speed and everything. I mean, I don't want to use it because... But I need non-elemental damage, though. That one wizard guy with the lamp and everything, he's resistant to all elements, if I recall correctly. I'm going to look him up when when we're back at base, we're gonna look him up and see what his deal is, but I think he's just resistant to all elements. And basic does extra damage, maybe. Maybe he's weak to basic. Because he always seems to just fall over in an instant if you use basic. Look at how vibrant that is. But yeah, the big problem with him is if an enemy is resistant to fire, congratulations, Blaze is worthless. At least with Flask, he always had that Gambit element. It's like, oh man, what am I gonna get today? Don't forget, character skills and amulets always recharge when a room is over. Or starts, actually. So feel free to get your mileage. I want a character who just walks on his bare feet and you hear that tippy-tappy, tippy-tappy with the little feets. I don't know why. I don't know why I want that, but I think it'd be a little bit something else. Yeah, I think it accounts for elemental resistances. Because nothing, yeah, everything here gets an element that they're weak to, and that's, I don't know. Why am I not using Billy Blaze it? cool. Oh, I can't even sprint. I can't even dash. Wow, Blaze sucks. Every time I try something, Blaze just manages to find another way to suck a little bit more. Incredible. I think a lot of Blaze of Sirius would get fixed if just making it so that his fire rate decrease only applies to other weapons would immediately make him a hell of a lot better. Just wham bam kablamzo. Problem solved. Because he sucks with spells. The DPS on a spell. Okay, so let's do the math, shall we? Let's pull out a little calculator. Our DPS, let's say, is 100, and oh no, we shoot 15% less quickly. That means that we divide it by 1.15. Oh, now we got 87 damage. Okay, 87. But wait, we do 20% extra damage, right? So we do that times 1.2. We get 4% extra damage. So I'm gonna point this one out. The spell specialist is 4% better with spells. His wands suck, everything else sucks. But he's 4% better with spells. You always start with one. You can just pick like, this is so bad. Again, just make it not affect spells, and bada bing, bada fucking boom, he's the same as the other specialists in terms of raw, like, get out of the gate goodness. Blaze is still something that needs some work because you can't dash, and you can dash with other weapons. Man, this one's great. Like, the utility of having two elements is fantastic. So, again, I can't use amulets. I can't dash. I can't do anything. I can't crouch, but that's not a function in this game. So, yeah, Blaze is awful. It is the worst thing ever. It limits your options. You can't do anything that you normally can do. You can't even swap out of it. You're just firing. Why would I ever want to have that? Wow. So, I hope they're going to fix that. I think he's one of the newest added characters, so it's possible that they haven't quite figured him out yet. I mean, that's perfectly fair. It's like, oh, we don't know we're gonna make him work yet. However, they did release a hotfix, and we're gonna take a look at that in a moment because I'm curious. I mean, Blaze is cute and fun to use because it is like a big fat beam, but it needed all of its time to take out two dudes, which is disgustingly bad. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's actually really strong. Ooh, but we're going for experience today, good sir. We still have, like, 4 more levels ahead of us. We have the time. Let's take a look at what the hotfix has to say. Let's take a look. See, temporary stat buffs from perks which is triggered by when a skill ends after a dash will be disabled upon starting a fight. So you can't enter a fight after having activated it. That's all right. That's perfectly fine. The ones that grant regeneration will be fast forwarded. You get all remaining. Oh, that's really good. Because now the mana regeneration bullshit doesn't, like, linger around all the time. Now just shield bash now freezes enemies in place. Oh, I didn't know what the hell that means because I haven't unlocked that character yet. Adjusted damage. Pandora's box, increased damage, tuned aim behavior. I mean, Pandora's box is already pretty good. Archon secondary damage. Yeah, the secondary really was kind of weak. Don't know any of the other weapons, though. Although I think Frostfire is the one I'm using right now. No, it's Frost Flame, not Frostfire. Unless that's like the development name because it has a secondary uppercase letter in the middle, which I don't know what to do. Reduce the time it takes until... Oh, wow! So, they're very much... Listen, I'm gonna just take a minute and sit right there. I'll tell you how to design your fucking game, you idiots on the chair. Now, let me tell you something about... You don't want to do that. In game development, at some point, you'll realize that something does not work. No matter what you do, it won't work. No matter how hard you try, you cannot get the game to flow if, after the cooldown, you have to wait for the mana to kick back in again before you can use another ability. At some point, you're going to have to make that decision. I know that you made a custom little animation, and you're super proud of the cooldown, but Blaze is trash. It limits my defensive options. It limits my offensive options. It limits my utility options. I can't attack with different elements. I'm locked to one until it's done. I can't stop it early. It takes a moment to turn off. I can't dash while using it. I can't use my amulet while using it. It's not strong enough to compensate for that. I need to invest in perks to make it worthwhile, which is shit. Flask is just fine to have. It's a big fat AoE. You can just throw it out there. Vault's always nice to have. Siphon, always just nice to have. There's perks you can avoid taking and instead focus on Siphon. So, again... And also, Siphon is fantastic if you're in the middle of a fight and you usually drop some stuff. You can just hover him and quickly get a heal. There's so much good about that. But Blaze needs to be good out of the fucking bag, man. It needs to be good out of the package. His base stats are shit. Sirius offers nothing. He is the slightly less specialized specialist in terms of his mana statistics, but nothing about him makes him a good spellcaster or anything. He's not a spell specialist. He's just garbage. Every other character is decent and just nice, but he's bad. He's bad. Ugh. And making his rewind animation less long is just an admission that it shouldn't be there because he's already suffering from 5 seconds of not being able to dodge or use his amulet, and now he just needs to deal with that? Great. So anyone who uses an amulet basically gets told, well, congratulations, you picked the wrong character. And you might say, well, then you just don't pick him. Why would I ever want to pick him in the first place? I'm picking him because I want to level him up and get that out of the way. And if the only reason I'm picking him is that, and not because I'm feeling like a spell today, or I'm feeling like, oh man, that's a fun random suggestion, then you failed. Congratulations. In a good game, you want to use every element at some point in some fashion. But again, even if there was a level and it was like, okay, this is all spells, you can only use spells. Spells only. All the weapons do like 1 damage. I'd still be like, I don't want to use Sirius. I would take aggro. You know, the guy with the siphon. So that I can siphon things in and don't have to worry about my... Who else would I pick? Oh, that's nice. I don't think I have that, but I don't mind this one, because I never really gave a shit about those. That's pretty good to have. I still want to take that, but I like the extra health I get. You know what? I'm feeling cocky. Oh, that's really good. That's also nice. Gives me some utility. You know, let's up Blaze a bit, see how that works out. Ooh, that's nice. I like... Yeah, I still have 120... Yeah, I still have a lot of health to go around. Is there any cool glowy? Because sometimes they hover off the floor and you have to worry about them. Anyway, after this, how about we try out some of the other new characters? There's Rigel, and then there's Margaret. There's plenty to go around. Oh, let's try out this one. Wow, that still feels pretty anemic. So not only do I have to invest in some perks, they still don't make it all that good. That's ridiculous. I was expecting, like, okay, I got 3 levels into this perk. I expect this to be exciting. Flask feels way stronger. I mean, Flask is mostly good against minions, but, you know, if you don't have any good AoE, then having a minion killer is always nice. Ain't no one gonna complain there. Ain't no one gonna... Like, AoE is harder to get than direct damage, because so many things have direct damage. Except if you start with that sweepy wand. I mean, you always start with a secondary weapon. The game doesn't do that thing anymore where it's like, oh, you only start with a wand, ha ha ha. Like, I think you have to take another weapon. Yeah, this is awful. I think the problem is that it doesn't scale. Like, they had a similar problem with the skeletons. And they made it, oh, the skeletons now scale. It's like, okay, that's great. What would I upgrade if I'd upgrade anything? I mean, I really like this one. I wouldn't mind if this one had a little extra oomph, but I might also get a chest. That's also possible. Before we settle on that, let's go over here. That is not bad at all. I really like cleansing. Together with all these experience buffs that I got, I'm going to get so much XP, which means I'm going to get lots of level ups, which means I can get a lot of barrier built up. And having barrier means I can compensate for my low max health. You know what I like? I like that there's so many little buttons that at some point you're just going to get a build, whether you like it or not. You can't stop me. I'll give you a build. I hate those corner chunks. They've made this so much more difficult to deal with, and I like it for that. But I don't like it. I think it's mean, and I hate it. But it also fixes a core problem that I have with this particular map loadout, and those are super easy to just kite. Oh no. Let's all give him something to worry about. Be careful with those guys. They unleash a Zappy Blast, and Zappy Blast make you attack slower, which is pretty dangerous. Yeah, the fact that I can't dash and I'm slowed makes this awful. In a very unique kind of way. Yeah, these are the zappy kind. They're very similar. Be careful with those guys. Like, they will pretty much always inflict their status effects. And if you're not paying attention, because they always aim where you're going instead of where you are, they will generally hit you under good circumstances. And with a stun status effect, that always sucks. Losing maximum amplification. That's not bad. Oh no, I'm not 3. I'm 2 in. That just seems like excessive, but I really would like to let Vampire do some work. That's really good though. But I kind of like this one a bit more. It's a bit more throw it out there, have some fun, you know. I like a fire and forget weapon. Oh, we're going into the boss fight with like this, huh? Great. Four more floors to go, and it's already looking pretty rough. You know, you guys screaming at the air is a lot more imposing. I'm gonna 420 praise it. Look at that, I'm taking so much damage because I can't dodge anything right now. Good combat design. What I really want is this. That's not bad. That, however, is fantastic. I'm going to be in for a moment. Be a moment. Cool. We're keeping that one for the video. You can just look at the preview on YouTube and go like, man, you should have told me about that before. So, let's throw some shade at someone else. First, I want to find Dungeon Craft YouTube. Not throwing shade at them. I saw that they had a new video. I don't follow them, but apparently YouTube was like, hey, here's a hot new video. Here's a hot new take, and I'm like, okay, sure, you know, why not? Fine. Let's see, can I do that thing I do with Take 20 where I just ignore everything? No, I'm gonna have to figure this out. Oh, it's a new gym mistake. But it's always nice to remember, to remind yourself of what you need to know. Or how dumb people are, and how they have wrong opinions. Shade I want to throw is at No Nats, the idiot who's like, okay, you know that funny meme? That what's it called? The Office meme? And yes, you do have to say the Office. It's called The Office US, so you have to say the Office US. Thank you. It's just like it's the discourse. TM. So, in The Office, there's that meme where it's like Pam is trying to... Corporate wants you to tell the difference between these two pictures. And she's like, they're the same picture. That is what I feel about the role-playing versus role-playing. They're the same thing. What you're doing is you're saying, okay, listen, you know you can go places by walking or sitting in a wheelchair and just getting there. I think that there's a difference between that and jumping. And if you don't want to jump places in my game, you shouldn't belong here. Role-playing is making decisions based on a role that you are playing. That is different from what this... Oh, that's really good. And I could use the basic damage. I already have ice. That is different. Very different from what he... Because what he's talking about is acting. Acting versus role-playing. Not role-playing versus role-playing, but acting. Role-playing is setting a course of action and going with it. I agree with Angry on this. They are the same thing. You're just an idiot who thinks that acting is a necessary component of being a character. It's not. You're adding extra steps. You're the asshole who's like, well, you can't come into my store if you don't jump everywhere. And it's like, but I'm in a wheelchair. No. My store is jumping people only. Jumping is like moving. Therefore, they are false friends. And therefore, jumping is moving. And it's like, okay, listen, man, there are lots of dances you can do where you don't have to jump. No. The only kind of jump on dance I accept is one where you jump. Because after all, people don't jump in normal life when they do things. Therefore, it's part of normal life. I think it's because, you know, the voice is like the one component that's part of everything, so everyone makes that mistake, but they're not the same. They're not a root. They don't share anything. They're false friends. Any equivalence you've drawn is entirely within your mind. If this meme pierces, I'd be a lot happier with it. I think it does, which... I mean, it makes it kind of an AoE, but... Oh yeah, I got my barrier. That was nice. I don't think that curse actually works on things that are immune to curse, so, good luck. Oh no, one more dude. And he threw a splooshy splash at me. That's alright. What did I get? Training. Picked up Scholar. Oh, you can check the perks nowadays to see what they decided to go with. No? Oh. So my Scholar is now level 3? It's 4. Nice. That's alright. That's a lot of experience. That'll make up for the minus 5%, you dingy. Oh, yes. I don't think you get experience for the second one either. Anyway, the Dwarven Blunderbuss is amazing for what it's worth. Makes these guys so annoying to deal with, actually. Ooh, but it does make that so much stronger. I wish I had the ice one now. I do think that they're weak to that, though. What a nice generic rock tomb. I mean, I'm definitely not against that. Oh, man. So, Role-playing. So, I'm going to subscribe to the angry school of thought, which is the right school of thought, because that man understands role-playing games better than most of us, because he actually thinks about things, instead of just going, this makes sense, and sitting on his ass like world's worst scientist. It's like, oh, well, that feels all right, and it's like, no, that's not how the theory of relativity works. Like, no, it feels right in my heart. I'll leave it at that. It's like, yeah, you might be right, but you have nothing to prove it, and someone who does not believe you will never believe you at that rate. Just saying. I might want to get something concrete. I subscribe to the idea that a role-playing game is really just making decisions. You, as the player, strategize and formulate plans and actions. The characters execute those plans and actions. You can play someone more charismatic, you can play someone smarter, because that's what you're supposed to bring to the table, is the brains. I like that one. That one's great. Do I want that? I mean, Cursed is just such a nice thing to have. And then I can focus on getting a different spell, because this one is really starting to show its age. So, yeah, it's still level 1. DPS is alright. I mean, it's the same kind of thing. It's got a piercing attack, it's got a big widespread, it's got everything I need. Not to mention, again, I like Curse. It's really good. It just curses things. There's a downside, I guess, that are resistant to it, but, you know. Oh yeah, Blaze gives me a speed boost after I'm done with it. That's nice. I mean, just 2 levels will get you like half the time you're not using Blaze as a speed boost time, which is nice, now that I think about it. I really want to have telekinesis by this point, because telekinesis is just nice to have. And by nice to have, I mean it's pretty much mandatory to make sure that you get everything that you need to pick up. Boink. If I just get Bloodthirst, I'll be like, man, every experience is just worth it. Where's the re-roll thing? 'Cause I do want to see if I can get something better here. Just a health. Oh, it's always nice to have in case you're going to the boss fight, to have a little health you can buy in the back pocket. I also need to remember that I can re-roll level ups. That's a new thing nowadays. You can re-roll level ups. It's so good. I mean, it's not great or amazing, but it's one of those things where you're like, you know, that's really nice to have. Ow. I mean, I was looking for a new spell, so here we go. I think this is electricity. Hell, let's go for it. Enchanting Butterflies is basic and lightning. Awesome. So we got lightning if we want it, and we got basic if we need it. And it's a homing attack, and I always love those. It's like we exchanged our 2 weapons for better versions. It's on level 2, but hey, it's better than level 1, and hey, it was stronger in terms of DPS, and I'm looking for that right now. Like, Poison is cute and all, but the Rotten Orb just lost its efficiency. Because it's a nice wide attack, you know. A bit too wide for my tastes. Yeah, I think it pierces, which makes it a bit better than I thought. It's still not great. Like, lining enemies up is cute when you're doing it with a weapon for, like, 1 shot. It's a lot harder to pull off consistently if you're moving around a bunch. Not to mention that one of the more common core grouping enemies is, you know, the carrots of fire who are resistant to it, so... I mean, if it was an Ice Beam, it would have been ridiculous. I'm not going to argue that. I mean, that's kind of a good use case scenario, huh? Oh, it lasted way longer than I thought, so it's still active at that point? That is oddly forgiving. Nice. I like that you can feel that I'm level 15. And those guys are dweebs. I mean, this is amazing. But I already have a curse stick, so I might as well go for the extra durability. How much shield do I have now? 5. Delightful. One of those was from opening a chest, right? Yeah, probably. I need to do some laundry now that I think about it. When we're done with this, I'm probably going to quickly peel my bed. A scrub-a-dub. Yeah, not having telekinesis is something that I'm really starting to feel. Look at that. Basic damage, so much better. I wonder if he's weak to it. Which would be weird, because you think the whole point of it would be... Do I have Simplicity? I know that Simplicity came up at some point. Stop pushing F, stupid finger. No, I'm dumb. I get experience from entering a fight, I get experience from picking up coins, I get experience from just having a fun time. The boss key. I was wondering when that would come up. The boss key perk, which gives you 50% of your health and mana back when you pick up the boss key, now also gives you plus 50% damage on the next fight. What I hate about it is that the way it works, you really just want to leave it where it is until you're ready to fight the boss, and it just takes some time. Just make it plus 50% of the boss fight. Like, for realsies, listen, everyone's going to use it that way if they want to spend the time on it, and only speedrunners are going to ignore it, and speedrunners don't need that 50% extra damage buff. Actually, they would probably use the math in their head. The weirdos. The goobers. The absolute mad lads. Get them nice and, I don't feel like it, huh? Like, my buttons do nothing. My buttons, they do nothing! Careful on that counter. Ooh. Don't know what the hell's going on, but I don't like it. Yeah, the fact that everything here does counterattacks is awful. I don't mind if I die, though. I want to and I hate it because it's a bit too opulent, but on the other hand, it's pretty cute. Black Orb, almost always worth it. I mean, I got like vampirism stuff, so yeah, almost always worth it. You can get your health back, especially if it's at the end of the boss fight. Before a boss fight, I wouldn't recommend it because you want to go in there with as much health as possible to give yourself some room for error because boss fights are bullshit, and you eventually have to deal with them. Man, it's not even... I mean, it's a higher level, and it's a fire weapon, but... I just like the Dwarven Blunderbuss, alright? It's cool. It's my jam. Like, even just one telekinetic gets you so much extra range. I mean, with this spell, it's actually really good to have that damage bonus. Still don't like the raw DPS loss from speed, but you know what they say: you can't butter some toast without crunching some broast. That's an old Canadian saying. If I can just get a little bit more vampirism, that'd be so cool. Or some bloodthirst. That wouldn't be bad either. So I think this works on like anyone, even if they're not like experience dropping minions. Ah, that's always nice. And looks barrier from that too. Always nice. What is my firing rate right now? Always be careful with that shield, man. Doing the heavy lifting in this house. Oh, I have Equalizer, don't I? Yeah, I do. That might be why my mana's so weird. Normally, you get your mana back very quickly, but Equalizer just makes it so that you can more easily focus on a single weapon without too much of a hassle, since every mana upgrade counts towards it. So it equalizes over time, but that's really nice to have. I mean, just getting a damage buff is nice. So what is my fire rate at? Oh, it's minus... Something is making it go higher, so that might explain why I'm not noticing it as much. What do I have that makes it go higher? Oh, that one, ain't it? Black Orb? Yep, probably Black Orb. Oh, don't forget, sometimes you can break things and they drop things for you. It's really weird. Like, unlimited power is amazing when you really think about it. Because if you get enough mana recovery items boosters, the mileage you can get out of it is amazing. Because if you're Glendor, unlimited power is also really good, because when you go into full charge, you basically have unlimited mana for a while. You might as well just swip and swap. And if you get that one that's switcheroo, you know, the extra switch power, the benefits are endless. And Guardian Angel is also paying for itself. I think I just got a whole bunch of barriers. Also nice to have. I don't want to get rid of you, just out of sheer principle, because you're really annoying to deal with. Oh, you're an illusionist, aren't you? Well, get out of here. No one likes an illusionist. Additionally, having less mana is actually really good with Overcharge, because it means that you need less pickups to make it go oomph-oomph. More shield? Or Return of... I'm going to go for that one, because I like the spell mana. There's no way to tell that it's currently overcharged, I think, so that's alright. I don't know where your hand looks like that, but I think you need to see a doctor, dude. I don't get a Pyromancer... Well, actually, I really love that. Again, I love extra. I don't like Fancy and Magic all that much, I've come to realize. I like Fancy and Magic when it's a low magic setting, because it feels like, oh man, Magic is super fucking funky, ain't it? But in higher magic settings, I think that spheres and more generalized magic systems tend to be more fun and interesting, because they basically become guns, and you want to make sure that your guns are... who cares? Like, putting it all behind these big walls just makes everyone a bit uncomfortable. Well, that's 3 big fighty rooms in a row. So, does Blaze qualify for Overcharge? I don't think it would, but it might, considering that it technically has no mana. It's always over 75%. Or maybe it's the cooldown, you know, like in the first 25% of the timer, it counts as if it has the benefit, you know. An obvious compromise. I'm just thinking out loud here. I wish I could get Scaredy Cat at this point, because I have some pretty good defensive options, so getting something out of my damage would be alright. I also wouldn't mind Spell Specialist, since my spell mana is the most difficult to keep full up. Getting something that... yeah. Staff Affinity. Not good. Not what I want. I would mind more shield, though. I wish it included the little bonuses you would get from these things. But yes, my protective shield is not super good. I can basically tank a full hit with my shield. That's pretty good. That's mileage, baby. I wonder where all the... There's a key pickup. That's nice. And there's also a key in this room. I don't think more than one key can spawn per room. So don't worry about that. Someone just sent me a Discord. It might be. Well, my D&D game, by the way, fell through because... Well, partially because Dizzy isn't present. Dizzy's, you know, life happens. Life happens to people. That's how life goes. Sometimes, it's like, hey, listen, I'm going to need you to come in at, like, 1 in the morning to count my shoelaces. And it's like, okay, sure, gotcha, boss. And sometimes life is like, hey, by the way, your mom is pretending to be insane because she wants to see you. And it's like, why? And it's like, well, you know, she's a bitch and she has no social skills. So the only way she thinks she can contact you is by pretending to be dead. And the doctor is getting really annoyed by how much space he's taking up. Could you just come and pick her up, please? Man, if your life is that, I feel very bad for you and you have my sympathies. I think we should change that. I think it should be assumed that you're giving everyone your sympathies. And you have to specifically say that you are retracting it. That way, everyone knows that they have your sympathies unless they're a dick. It's like you have to go, oh man, your mom died? You don't have my sympathies. And you suddenly realize like how goofy it is to say you have my sympathies. But that's me. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, life gets in the way. Life finds a way to ruin everything. I've been missing so many games, it's making me legitimately angry, even though I shouldn't be, because this is like emergency stuff and it's important. But god dang if it doesn't make me angry. That's real nice, but I'd rather just get the one that gives me half dash recovery. Let's go for the shield, baby. I'm tough. I'm tough nubbins, and 20% isn't all that much when you get down to it. Ooh, a big old combat room. We still haven't found the boss door. There's a feat that makes you do more damage to enemies that are affected by status effects. I think it's called Psycho. The Chaos Device with Psycho sounds like it'd be a killer combo from hell. Because you basically get free damage on everyone because it seems to custom select the status effect that the enemy's affected by. These guys nowadays, I think they used to be immune to all status effects, but now they are weak to Cursed and Poison, if I recall correctly. I remember when I had to guess how much damage a weapon did, and nowadays it's like, oh, here's the damage, here's the fire rate, here's your mana usage. Even tells you how many upgrades you've purchased for it. Sad part, I'm probably gonna level up from the chest. Ah, that's just sad. While that, I mean, I really like Frostflame. It's just a nice utility thing to have in case I need it. Not a bad idea to get Druid. If I am getting hit, it's gonna hurt. And I don't know why, but it feels like Sirius takes more damage. But maybe it's because I'm just not as defensive as I sometimes get. Oh, that's amazing. That's also a really fun weapon. It does, yeah, basic and Heart Love is basically a free curse. This is goofy and dumb and I hate it, but the secondary is amazing for what it does. It just gets the job done. It just instant curse done, kablamzo. What more do you want out of life? I also like that rerolling does not remove the item that you left behind in purchase. I think those eventually despawn, but so far I've never really had it. I had them once, so who knows? It might have been a glitch bug. But yeah, basic and cursed is like the best combo because it gives you an elementalist attack on top of a pure elemental attack. So you always have something to go with. And since you can always curse with this, Psycho gels so good with itself. I mean, Psycho gels with any elemental weapon, but 100% curse chance. I mean, it's not a full... I mean, there's weapons that can hit multiple dudes and elemental multiples, and then you really get your benefits, but... man can dream. Look at that shield, man. It takes up so much of my health bar, it looks like I legitimately got hurt. When in truth, no such thing. That is nuts, because it makes my Chaos Device better. Really, the boss room is here. I expected the other way around, considering this area is, like, further... whatever. Again, you want to... oh. Well, you know, you said big. I wasn't expecting, like, huge mungus. Well, since they're big, it's way easier to... oh! Oh, it doesn't pierce. Or it doesn't have the range. That's a piddly range, might I add. Look at that. Who doesn't like a little extra mileage? I love that I was like, I need a potion. My health bar's so low. It's like, no, 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 you're fine. It's just that your shield bar is so, so huge. Oh, wow, he's stuck. Oh, I feel for you, you poor guy. You do not have my sympathies. Put it on the record, stenographer. He does not get my sympathies. Consider my sympathies officially withdrawn. And then I wiggle my eyebrows suggestively at the crowd, who becomes moderately uncomfortable, but still wonders what I'm trying to achieve here. It's not great, but I think enemies that are weak to a status are more likely to get it. Ah, who doesn't like cursed? Who doesn't like random projectiles that just fly all over the place? It's like, I don't have to aim. They might just hit you, and I might get my money's worth. I also just might not. But you know, when has that ever stopped anyone from having fun? Shepard on a goon squad is annoying as all hell. He basically creates his own wall. No, level up. Lose all your mana plus 20. No. That is what I want. Now, Blaze is actually worth using at any circumstance that isn't an obvious weak enemy. It is minus 5% damage, but you get a huge amount of bang for your buck. I'm also immune to friendly fire, which I don't think is going to come up all that much, but it's nice to have in case it does come up. I don't like the unstable gizmo, but it doesn't need a level up for me right now. Okay, cool. Other people talk to me. What's it everyone want to talk to me lately? Oh, you still deal with the Reaper, huh? What am I going to level up if I get the chance? The Blunderbuss? This staff? This one? I kind of want to upgrade this one. Because, let's see, now it's 42... 46. And it's not a major increase, but I think it's like 10%-ish. But, you know... That might be like a whole extra butterfly in the cluster in terms of damage. And that's, you know, who's going to argue with that? I'm not going to argue with that. You want to argue? You want to fight about it? Also, the reason that firebomb isn't worth it is I already have like a fire beam in case I want to set something on fire for the DOT. So who cares? Yoink. Just double check and make sure that my sound's still working. Oh, don't forget. Curse. Curse, and then we fire you. You're hired! Yeah. I think this guy... No, he just has the anger phase. Don't forget to keep your vampirism going and to pick up some mana along the way. Oh, he just summoned those directly, huh? Jackass. I don't know why, but every single enemy AoE always feels like it's a bit bigger than it really needs to be to get the job done. Which is to say I get hit a lot, and I'm sad. Middle of the floors are left. A few more. That's an hour, jeez. I highly doubt you can impress me. I really like this one, though. It's so good. It has a really good freeze chance. Listen, basic damage, I got basic damage. But now I got ice damage, and I got this really good spray that just freezes enemies in place. It's just alright. I mean, it's just good. Look at that. Big guy, took way more damage, way less effort than Blaze ever would require from me. And it froze that guy behind him. Why would I ever want to use Blaze when I can just get this? You know, I mean, he has an upgrade that just makes him do more fire and spell damage, which is actually pretty neat for what it's worth. Because not a lot of people just do raw elemental damage bonuses stuff. Look at that. Look at that. Look at how strong this spell is. I like this. I like shotguns. I like snipers. And this is the best of both worlds. Potions are more effective, decrease maximum health, and more resistant to curse. That's what I want. I'm having issues with that. Curse is never fun. It increases damage dealt to you, which can be a death sentence under the right circumstances. Look at that. Why would I want the stupid butterflies when I can have something that's cool and in charge? Ah, you're on fire. Can they retaliate before they're frozen? Or do they retaliate after they're frozen? Or attempt to retaliate after they're frozen? Ah, a nice extra super buff potion. Oh, does it tell me? Health from potions is... Ah, man. Basically get a whole other half for free. You might be a healer, but I'm the guy with the gun. It's all the way over there, really. I have to walk all the way over here just to say hello. Choose a perk. I mean, that just gives me so much more mana and jails incredibly low with unlimited power. What do you got? Skill recharges faster, minus 10% health. Sure, why not? I have pretty good defenses. I have a bunch of stuff going for me. I should focus on trying to get some more health if I can. Like, my next pick, if I can get it, I should get one that gives some more health. You might have a problem. Yeah, the ignoring resistances is just nice, ain't it? Those guys, by the way, are ice-based. If you're gonna go... I mean, I guess Sirius, if you play him the right way, he doesn't really care about dashing all that much, since, you know, his main move is not to dash. Again, it really feels like it should have more oomph. It costs so much and it gives so little. You give up a lot of utility and flexibility in return for what? A little piddly beam that has baby piddly range and just locks you in place. Ah. Also another reason to really like telekinesis. I like the shards in the old one. They were like little books. Yeah, since I'm extremely like the cost of status effect of this weapon. I would hate this room with something like Double Ganger. Or Necromancy. That being said, a long room like this, shield really pays for itself. Like whatever health benefits I could have gotten from something else, shields paid for itself. And yeah, I can easily farm lots of mana off these guys to keep my unlimited power up. So who cares, right? I can take this. Hell, I might get more from the barrier drops than I will from these dweebs taking my hit points. You're a dweeb, you hear me? That being said, these rooms kind of suck when there's too much tar around. Look at all that mana. If I can get some mana crystal buffs, that'd be great. And that's it. We're done. These rooms are never ever all that tough. When you're done, you're done. Dot period. More spell pull or more invulnerability? I think I'm going to go for the invulnerability. Just a little bit more utility in there. If I had viewers, if I had people actually watching this, I would be like, hey, when I'm done with this, what character shall I show off? Like, which one of the new ones am I gonna give you all a lot of look-see at? Shall I do Margaret or Rigel? But I don't have viewers, so I can't ask that question. So, ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Really, it's just a recording software for me. See, you get this one at the beginning of the game, but it is so good together with Hellish Ember in terms of it's just a nice spell to have. You get a little bit of range, you get a little bit of AoE or rapid fire, you get a little bit of status utility. What more do you want? You can take the one for damage over time, or you can take the other one for some control. It's all good under the hood. You get your mileage either way. And now that my attack fire rate doesn't suck, it's actually worth it to use. Like, why would I ever want to switch? I can get fire from one and ice from the other. I have sure shot, so I don't even have to worry about elemental resistances. And that's actually a really interesting thing, is that because he has that spell thing, yeah, he actually compensates for that. Let's go with that then. I mean, I should have re-rolled, really. That's really nice. I'm not going to say no to getting some mana back, you know. Who wants to say no to that? Who's going to be like, I don't get mana. I'm an adult man. For the people watching YouTube, yes, I am streaming this. That's why this video is so awkwardly long. Dragon Bile, get bent. Elemental Master. Why do I want to use anything other than this double damage spell I have in my back pocket? That's awesome. What are my proc chances on this thing? 5%. Doesn't feel like that, especially not with the ult. More drops. Okay, I hope you like health potions. Well, since I have all this gobbledygook, really no. Like, the ult isn't that strong, but it also isn't that weak. I still wonder if shield should be taken before barrier or afterwards. Like, shield after barrier does make shield a little less powerful. Does make barrier a little less powerful. Like, it's which one do you want to have the upper hand here? Like, is barrier really supposed to be the first best? I guess if you really want to, Blaze is a good defensive option. Like, you put some DOTs on him, you have Cursed already active. Switching to Blaze is not a bad one, because if you have the damage resistance one, that's what I'm talking about, by the way, if you have the damage resistance one, you basically just get some free damage with less risk. If you can't dodge, that is. Depending on when the defensive thing even activates, you might be able to deploy before you get hit by a big attack that you know it's coming, and you really need to survive that one. But those are really circumstantial utility that require some pretty high up knowledge, so... Man, I have like 20... Where did I get 29 shield? What? I have 8 from that. So that's like 17, right? Where's the extra 12 come from? Oh, dismantle! Because I'm opening chests! Yeah, so I have 29 hit points, which, by the way, is a super large amount of shield to have. I'm fine. This is why I like dismantle. Is if you're at least one floor up, you basically just get 2 shield, and you're probably gonna find a chest somewhere in the level. Maybe, I don't know, if you're lucky. And if you're, I think the brawl chest also counts, so you can get like 4 shield per level. Like, it pays for itself very quickly if you know what you're doing. Yeah, those guys. I need to remember that I'm gonna look at their stats. By the way, I think those things will always bounce as high as they start it, so the higher you are, the higher they bounce. I don't think they lose any particular height. We'll figure it out on the way. Arcane, you always want to get rid of Arcane because they just shoot homing projectiles. They shoot magic missiles and they're annoying. What more do you want to know about them? Why am I not using this? Look at that. Also, chance of causing an ice explosion when defeating a frozen enemy. So, ice chaining anyone? Like, you just do that and you just keep the ice going, baby. You've already won. Yeah, man. Sure shot. Oh, that's so nasty. Ooh, that's so nasty. Plus 8%, huh? So it's a bit faster now than before. It's so good now. It's so good. I think that's where the 20% is so good. Is because bonuses are multiplicative. Once you get to 20, like that next level up is just gonna make you a hell of a lot stronger. Like, oh, you get 15%. Well, it's 50% on top of 120%, not on top of 100%. So you get a little extra bang for your buck. Not much. Like 3% or so, but you know those add up over time. It does make it hard to get out of that fire rate well that you dug yourself into. Anyway, let's get to it. We're almost there. We're almost done with this. It only took like an hour and a half. I think freezing hail is so nice. I don't know. This and the other freezing something, the one that shoots the big orb and the big wide wave, they're pretty good. Like ice is just a good status effect to have, and the damage on them is great. Like, why would I want to take the fire spell? Just want to do this, and do this, and this. And we'll set him on fire. Get some of that sweet, sweet 13. Some random status effects. Why not? Why not? But you're not gonna do anything, Urian? Huh, Urian? You big loser? You big winnie? You big softy? You're such a loser. Sure, let's make Blaze even more hyper-specialized for no good reason. I hope Blaze and just all powers in general level up over time. Like, oh, you get more range. Last floor. Let's do it. And then we might do one more dungeon with another guy. Short. Sweet. I, by the way, make the character guide for this game. So if you are using that character guide and giving it a look, don't expect me. Don't be surprised if I just yell at Sirius a whole bunch. Should have seen it coming. Solazano, I hate this one. It's too slow. The projectiles take a while to get there, and this just takes too long. It's alright when it hits. It's not. It's good damage. It's a good explosion. I just feel that the projectile's way too slow for me to give a shit. I'm like, okay, why would I use that when I can just use this and just hit him? I'm just saying. That's my mentality. I imagine that there's some people who actually prefer the slow projectile because it lets them quickly swap and do some fancy trickery or something, or they just don't mind. They're just like, that's not a factor that I consider when I pick my weapons. And that's fine. It's just that for me personally, the travel time makes it just not worthwhile investment. And I said no. If I could get Spell Slinger or some fire rate increases, I would be so happy. You have no idea. Because I really want this thing to just start shooting and shooting. Oh, that's what this is for. Yeah, minus 30% movement speed is awful. But they get the extra fire rate, and you're like, you know, that's not that bad. If anything, I want Blaze to last less. And I guess that's why Blaze has to play out its full thing. It's like they know that it's bad. So how much is burnout again? I mean, it's 50%. That is a huge amount. That's a whole lot of DPS you're getting. Basically for free. Cool. No quarrels here. It's all gains. See? That's what happens when you play with a brain using that cool, sexy freeze. Man, Equalizer's really started to bite me in the ass. Secondary fire less after performing a dash. You know, I've been complaining about this. Let's take telekinetic. This room is the funnest one because you can just walk, jump around this wall, and you skip like... You skip enough that you feel smart. Spectral Bolt. I don't mind Spectral Bolt. It's a homing attack. This one pretty much always does stun. That one's just nice to use, but I don't like it. If I didn't have Freezing Hail, I might consider it, but I have Freezing Hail, so who cares? I have a shotgun. I have a workhorse. I don't need specialized tools when I just have damage. That's just nice to have, I guess. I wonder, the 5th of November, like, how much testing goes into the characters before they're released to the public? Because Billy Blaze does feel like a bit of an understatement. Nobody got time for that. Actually getting secondary. Yeah, the elemental thing is really keeping this alive. Because in case you forget, I get like 5 mana every time I kill something that has an elemental thing applied to it. And together with Overclock, yeah, that's why it's so strong. Is I have Overclock, unlimited power on top of everything else. It's just oomphy. I got the oomph. Rudy's got the oomph zone. Rudy's got the oomph zone. Ah. The new and improved item pickup range is amazing. Yeah, I really think that the inability to dash or use the inability to dash is really what kills it for me. As is the whole fire rate thing, also affecting his spells. Which just makes him feel like he's not a specialist, which I think he's supposed to be. Because, you know, he likes spells. A bunch of spell buffs are in his tableau. Yeah, with the way this works with Blaze, I can get my mana back very fast if I run out, because, especially with Mooks, I can get lots of elemental kills. And vulnerability is going to be bullshit when I'm in a boss fight. I mean, I can be sloppy since I have shield, but I can't get that sloppy. That's great, but I hate it. And that is just 100% raw cash. It's not even counted in here. Look at that. Plus 14%. Plus 98. Oh, boy. Come on over. Come on by. My proc chance is still 5, so it doesn't even consider that. It's 10. It's 10% proc chance, which means, again, elemental chains, very likely. Let's just finish it off, baby. I don't need anything. I'm good to go. Normally, you don't want to skip fights, but it's the last floor. Who gives a shit? We're going to get 1 level up. Who gives a shit? It's not going to help me. I got a Reaper, everything. I got everything working out for me, and this guy's an idiot. Look at this loser. Look at this absolute clown. Oh yeah, he's one of those bosses. Ugh. You know, Rigel's Volt actually great here. Man, that's so much damage. It's not even that well upgraded. Ooh. Almost kicked the bucket there. Oh, that's how much shield I have. How much shield do I have nowadays? 35. Who doesn't want 35 shield, baby? Sirius, your blaze was not that great, but you sure shined in this one. Man. Oh yeah, let's look up that wizard guy. Let's have a look. See, what do we all get? Let's just skip it. Oh, it's a Black Onyx. That's something I read about. Let's see what it. Black Onyx decreased primary damage, and the Porcupine Staff has increased secondary mana usage. Neat. Homing small projectiles. It's a spell, apparently. I don't want to carry a bag of throwing stones. Oh, I love how goofy this one looks. It looks so silly. It's not bad. A simple evolution of an ancient bomb. Oh, that's pretty cool. Quick recharge, too. Oh, that's awesome. That's really good if you're in a pinch or just took a lot of bad deals. That's not bad, again, if you're having some bad luck. Or you're playing... Oh, I know where this is amazing. You're playing... What's his name? The guy with the sacrifice ability? And you get the 25% damage buff for the 25% damage taken penalty. Flex. Reduce speed for increased spell and fire damage. It's not bad, but combined with the fact that Blaze makes him slower if you get the intended upgrade, it's ridiculous. Power Heart. Secondary shot. That means the one you're using. Elemental damage. Oh man, that's just an all-around buff for this one, huh? And the Chaos Device. What am I getting? Increased movement speed is nice. That's really good. Extra cooldown. That's alright. I like it. I dig it. Sirius. Not even unlocked that one yet. However, he gets more mana and he gets more health. Who can complain about those things? Library. Bestiary. Where is this guy? Probably... I haven't seen this guy yet. It's a Kumakatok. Yeah, as I thought, he's resistant to everything and strong to basic. So, yeah, that's exactly what I thought. How interesting. Oh, look at all these nice stats. Oh, he's resistant to basic. Oh, that makes sense because he's a goop. Weak to fire is not what I would have guessed. Resistant to... Man, there's so many that I didn't know that I would have guessed. Yeah, he's weak to cursed. He just doesn't take any resistances to... yeah, cursed, poisoned, and basic. I think for a while it was actually resistant to pretty much everything. Hard to crack. Also that he drops a bunch of explosions on death. That's also very nice. Not nice to deal with. Oh, he's just vulnerable to things, huh? The Igneous Nightmare. That's a great name to have. Ironclad. Weak to lightning, no resistances. Bronze Warrior. Yeah, they look extremely similar. But he's resistant to lightning and vulnerable to ice. And this guy, I think that falls under the colorblind problem. They look different, but from a distance, they're difficult to tell apart because they have a very similar silhouette. May I recommend giving one of them some cool spiky pauldrons or something like that? Something to break the silhouette up a little bit? Just a tiny... Just give him some spikes. Give him a big spiky cone head or something stupid like that. You want to make sure the silhouettes are different. Like this, I can tell that apart from this guy. He's got boots. This doesn't count. That's too small a detail. It's got to be like a big, important detail. This is so different from the other one, from the Wraith, in terms of color and general palette, that it's fine. But you want to make sure that they're different in some way. In color, in silhouette, in movement, you can have it be that an enemy just moves vastly different. But on split-second decisions, they might not be able to see that, so it doesn't really count. Yeah, let's do one short one. Oof, that's a big reward cache. This might be a single floor, actually. If I had viewers, I'd go like, sure, we'll go Rigel the Acrobat or Margaret. Let's go with Margaret, because I was really talking her flask toss up. I mean, look at that. Fire rate, straight out of the gate. What else more do you want? You know what, I'll just show you. Let me just pull up the guide. My guide. I made it. I made that guide, by the way. I start a game up, and I'm like, okay, what's their beginner perk? Rigel. Plus 10% staff damage, plus 20% staff mana, minus 10% alchemy and spell damage, not wand, plus 7% movement speed. That is so much better than anything Sirius gets. Like, Sirius gets bigger overall numbers, like, oh, 20% damage. But, not good. Whereas Margaret is minus 25% staff and spell mana, and 20% fire rate on Alchemist, which, considering that alchemy weapons are usually slow, it's a massive compensation. But yeah, let's see what Margaret has to say when she plays and I use her flask toss, which, again, not necessarily the biggest, brightest weapon around, but that's not what it's about. Never bad to have a cursed weapon. We'll take the new one. Flask toss also has a cycle. She wants to attack with an alchemy weapon so that her non-alchemy weapons gain unlimited mana to compensate for her low mana. Get out of here. I don't give a shit about memory. Oh, you know what? I like looking at the memories because sometimes they're pretty neat. Hit with alchemy weapon to get unlimited mana for her other weapons, which she doesn't get a lot of mana for. Then kill with those to reduce her flask cooldown, and then use flask to give herself armor and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't cycle necessarily into alchemy weapons, but you know it's there. Also, she can get thorough. She gets more damage on her alchemy weapons and more mana uses, but you already, you know, it's the one she gets the mana for, so who cares? And she can get unlimited mana if she gets a kill with it, so it's like all, it pays off. There's a payoff. Yeah, here we go. Here's her starting. It's not much, but, you know, it's a hell of a lot better than kneecapping your own specialty. That is essentially going for a double kneecap. That is alright, but she already has Prudence, which makes her slower. Like, Rigel's the only one to get to knee speed. I just think we're going to go for something nice and safe, considering we only have one dungeon to go with, and getting extra perk choice isn't all that exciting. I mean, they already upped it. It wasn't, I think it was 2. Yeah, originally it was 2, wasn't it? Goofy. Oh, I forgot. I love this one. Cool. That's not bad, considering that that's a big problem. So let's go with that. Let's go with some mana efficiency. Also helps my wand, because it's also an elemental wand. 7%, not much, but I think if they're resistant to it, they just get the gumption. This is a 2-floor level. Cool. Look at how fast Flask seems to recover because I just use it more. Because I want to use it more. Oh, you wacky Temple Guardians from, what's that game? Her Flask icon's a bit goofy now that I think about it. Well, we can get out of this floor if we want to, but I don't want to right now. So what's the proc chance on the Frostbow anyway? 50%, not bad. Look at that. Nice little calm. Give him some focus time. Yeah, she works so well with Psycho because she does status effects. Like anything that gels off of status effects is great. I wouldn't mind getting this because I only have one other floor. However, yeah, I don't even have any weapons that would benefit from that. So let's just go for. Oh, we're going double down on curses, huh? That's all right. That's all right by me. You got my cheese slice. Let's go for another oath. We're doing a short one. Might as well have some fun. I like that one. Don't think I have a fire weapon. Nope. What was it again? Just because my brain stumbled. Yeah, that's a lot. And considering I already have damage reduction, those orbs are gonna last a while. I'm gonna get lots of barrier. If I get drops, if I don't get drops, I don't get barrier. Rigel has a fantastic drop buff if he is in the air using Vault, which, you know, means if he goes for a barrier build, he can get kind of nutty. If he goes for a barrier build, like, he gets his barrier from elsewhere. Not what I wanted. But look at how short deployment on that is compared to the other one where it's like, oh, you have to commit to the bit. Ooh, that's nice. Look at that. Poison. So much more fun to use. So much more useful to use. Pays for itself. A new staff. Less... I'm gonna eat myself some Pringles. I don't have any Pringles. I was lying. I hope that your hopes and dreams are now shattered. Man, I like Ziggurat. Such a fun game. I mean, I started off really rough with the original because I was so used to a game where enemies don't aim like that, and I was like, man, this is so dumb. Enemies are so good at aiming. But nowadays, it's just fun. I'm having a great time. I make guides for the first game and for this one. That's how much I like it. Hey, wondering what you're missing about this guy? Maybe I can tell ya. Just saying. I have a really lopsided elemental loadout because I have double ice and double curse. Remember what I said? Blaze struggles against this. But here, it's just kabam! No cost, no downsides, all upside. You're just gone. I mean, I could have used the Frostbow. Technically, I would have had comparable efficiency, but... I was hoping to hit you. Also, there's an upgrade that just makes Flask better. It just does more damage. Who cares? How much barrier do you get from an orb again? I think it's 20, but I'm not sure. Nice. Oh, this is just... Look at this! Look at how good that is! Because I'm going to be using against goons that are following me anyway, or I might run into enemies and quickly drop it. It's just all benefits. 8 seconds of plus 50% armor is amazing. It's very similar to what everyone else gets. Like, they all have very similar perks, or things that look alike. And because they probably built them according to a similar battle plan, so that all the specialists would fall according into a set of patterns, you know. Man, getting sure shot makes my lopsidedness a little loppy. Don't copy that floppy, they said. I say, yeah. I don't really care about the bonus room, because, you know, it's a small dungeon, so odds are the extra level up isn't all that much of a deal. Sure, let's get oafed up. Get a random weapon plus 2 1 reroll. I don't even do fire damage. How much do I get from barriers now? I get a lot. If I pick up a barrier orb, it's just like... I just inflate. I just get this big round belly and I'm covered in shieldy gloop. It's like, where did all this come from? Zoinks. Look at this, look at this. Oh, that was like 40. Oh yeah, because it's 100% and then 100% of 100%. So it's 400% in total. Because it's multiplicative. Oh, that's nutty. That's nutty. So I basically get a couple of extra hits every time one of them decides to drop. I am bonkers. I love it. What perks can I pick? More... I mean, I'm not gonna... That is great. Fury is great. I have so much barrier. I have I have defensiveness because I already have the cool fun parts stuff. So yeah, flasks don't do friendly fire, by the way, which makes them so useful. Because normal attacks have friendly fire, they don't. Flasks are your friends. Flasks are your friends. Margaret makes very good potions. She does not hurt herself with them. Unlike your average idiot alchemist in Pathfinder or Dragon Claw, whatever they call the game nowadays. Dungeons and Claws, Dicks and Dragons, Bat Dragon. Oh, you poor nerds. This staff is nice because you get piercing attack for if you want to get fancy. Regular, good, accurate attack for if you just want to do some damage. It's just nice. It's just nice. And here's what I'm talking about. 35% extra damage. That's way more than Blaze gets. And Blaze just isn't... I mean, it's more efficient if you have a bunch of sporadic targets scattered around, but... Like, Flask you can just throw around without any hassle and tassel. It interrupts your attack for like a moment. Who cares? Nobody gonna fire you over that mistake. Unless they're dumb. You should fire them. I don't know why you have the power to fire the person who can fire you, but that's society, man. We live in one. Did you know? Again, gel's amazing with Psycho. And no real downsides to using her other weapons other than maybe like mana usage. Just like, who cares? And if you have one of her specialty perks, you just get unlimited mana for a little bit when you're using it. So it's like, okay, who cares? +2. Great. I've sure shot, right? Yeah, I've sure shot. Man, you know what I really want to play? I want to play more medieval. I don't know why, but the weapons and the combat flow is so good that it's still in the back of my head. That's how I know you made a good video game. Is when dumb big idiot me is like, oh man, video games. Apparently, I should have found all the keys, but I don't give a shit because we're on the final floor. Who cares? This is not gonna be a hard one, and I already got like a pretty good loadout. I got stuff figured out. I got here's this die saying so I'm not even gonna get bonuses. I don't think bosses have resistance and stuff. I should look that up. That seems important. Look at that. Bomb does a nice amount of damage, doesn't it? Can I curse her? Hell yeah! That's so good. Yeah, that, again, AoE fee is way too big. And I wouldn't have done it without my trusty flask. I still think channeling is not worth it. Like, while lots of the amulets are great, none of them ever make me go, I want to get more of that. I don't use them all that often. Maybe if you do use them. They're great. If you ever want to make sure that someone can't twist your words too easily, Talk in different intonations over the course of the sentence so that it's hard to take the audio on itself and make it work. Norse canon. That just looks fun. Something about this just looks fun. Erudite. Knowledge. Gems give more. Ooh. I like that. It reminds me of sensitive. Wow, that cooldown decrease is not much. But it doesn't need it. It's just, hey, do you want to have curse without sacrificing a slot to it? Gotcha. Gotcha covered. Stats. No, bosses. No, that's perks. Bestiary. So do bosses have resistances and stuff? I imagine not, because kind of a shit situation. But that's that. That's the stream because I don't get to play D&D anymore nowadays. Like, my Saturday morning game is gone because Mr. Staccato's away, and honestly, I don't care about the game at all. So I'm just hoping I can cancel it if he doesn't come back, or he's like, you know what, this is way better. Because so many people, when they leave a game, they're like, man, you know, having all this time to myself turns out to be pretty good. And it's like, yeah, because you aren't playing the fucking game, you idiot. If you gave a shit, you wouldn't be like that. It's not the game, it's not D&D, it's that you weren't playing a game that you had fun in. And you were forcing yourself to sit through it. Even though I constantly tell my players, don't do that to yourself. That's how you get burnt out on D&D, is you drag yourself to one you don't want to be in. Like a big old dummy. Point is, we can cancel that game? Other side of that game? Who cares? I want to do Low Magic 3.5. Exploration based. Player driven. I'm not going to give him shit. Sort yourselves out, you idiots. The world is not going to give you a quest. It's not how the world works, for the most part. Maybe at times it will, but not most of the time. You're going to have to pay those bills. You might get hunted. You might get out-cheated. You might get robbed. Careful. Put all your things in the bag and put a big lock on the back. They won't steal the bag. They'll just steal the lock. That's the trick. Anyway, that was pro tips from your boy.